Good morning, everyone. Today is the 31st of January, the last day of January. You know, if we look at the disciples' lives, we can see a lot of similarities to our own lives at times. Remember when Christ called Peter, James, and John, and he told them, "I will make you fishers of men." And I'm sure at that time the disciples had no idea what they were going to have to face in their lives by being linked up with Christ. I know as a very young man, being newly married, I had no idea what I was going to have to go through in my life. I was pretty naive, I must say. The disciples, when they first were called, were in awe of this newfound friend, Jesus Christ. Of course, he had found them, they hadn't found him, right? And they were called to do a lot of things that were very uncomfortable for them to do. You know, and like cast your nets on the other side of the boat. That was very uncomfortable, I'm sure, for Peter. Being a fisherman and having fished all night long and not caught anything, and then been told to cast the nets on the other side of the boat. But I'm glad he did, and I'm sure he was glad he did when he got all those fish. Have you ever been asked to cast your net on the other side of the boat? I know I have. You know, I never dreamed I would be asked to get on Facebook Live and share the Bible with people around the world. You know, you've heard the saying, you're known by the company you keep. Often labels were put on the disciples as being fanatics, as being troublemakers, because of their association with Christ. I know I've had labels put on me. Label of, oh, I've been called everything. I've been called a jackass. I've been called an idiot. I've been called a moron. These are very loving people out there. I've been called a bigot, a hate monger, a racist, someone that holds a conspirational view of history, someone who's out of their mind. They accused Christ of all of those things. And of course, the disciples were guilt by their association with Christ, weren't they? Good morning, Miriam Javad from Pakistan. Glad to see you this morning. Hope you're doing well. The disciples, as they went through their life and they experienced the utter horrendous things that Christ had to go through. And he told them they were going to have to go through similar things, didn't he? You know, they witnessed a lot of things because of their association with Christ. They witnessed him raising Lazarus from the dead. They witnessed the healing of the man with the withered hand. They witnessed the feeding of 5,000 people with a few loaves of bread, 2 loaves of bread and fish. They witnessed how Christ was mocked and scorned and whipped and spit in his face and hanging on a cruel and rugged cross. They witnessed the resurrection, him raising from the dead. And they witnessed the ascension of him going back to heaven. There was a lot of things these disciples saw firsthand because of their association with Jesus Christ. There's a lot of things that we as Christians see because of our association with Jesus Christ. He has revealed a lot of things to us. He's revealed to us that he is the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. He's revealed to us that he is our Savior, Redeemer, and friend. He's revealed to us that he's coming again. Yes, the disciples went through an awful lot, and every one of them was martyred. Every one of them was killed except for John, who was boiled in oil. In fact, Peter was hung upside down on a cross. We may be asked to go through some things because of our association with Christ. And only God can give us the grace to go through those things. We've already had to go through some things because of our association with him. And we don't know what the future holds for us. He holds the future in the palm of his hand. So the disciples, after Christ rose from the dead, he turned the leadership of the church over to them. Before he ascended back to heaven, he told them to go into all the world, preach the gospel to every creature, baptizing them in the name of the Father and the Son, and doing whatsoever I've commanded you. And that's what he's asked us to do as well. Well, I hope today you will remember the fact that because of our association with Christ, that pretty well puts a label on us to who we are, whose we are, and what we have to go through. May the good Lord be with you today in a special way is my prayer. God bless.